taking medications you don't need. 65% of older adults could be doing that, and that's just one of the common mistakes people could be making with their medicine.
Yeah, in fact, doctors say there are a lot of common mistakes happening at all ages. So I sat down with an internal medicine physician about what types of mistakes he sees people making often. When it comes to your medicines, are you following prescription recommendations to a T?
I forget sometimes, we're human.
Or like some folks, does your daily routine tend to waver?
It's complicated.
Dr. Sean Drake is a general intern medicine senior with Henry Ford Health. He manages patient medications and says he's aware many of us have challenges following prescriptions. Are patients making some common mistakes?
Absolutely. There are a lot of common mistakes patients will make when they're taking their medications.
Let's start with those who may be taking multiple pills, like Brenda Moore.
I take metformin, I take blood pressure pill, I take aspirin, I take a Motrin.
While Brenda says she stays on top of her meds, Dr. Drake says it's likely the more medications you add, the more complicated things can get.
One of the most common things I see and I hear from my patients is just forgetting, just not taking it.
Forgetting is also common, especially for those taking medicine several times a day.
People can be very busy and forget to take their medication, and it's just a challenge altogether.
A classic example is something that's given 3 times a day. It's very common. They'll remember their first dose in the morning. They'll remember their dose when they're going to bed. It's that middle dose is oftentimes a challenge.
If you're failing to take prescribed drugs correctly, you risk side effects and other complications. And what about those instructions? Is it tough, Miss Betty, keeping track of a routine?
Yes,
How challenging is that?
it's hard.
Betty Serrano told me she takes about 10 prescriptions per day, so keeping a list and scratching them off helps her. If you don't follow the rules, what are some of the possibilities that could happen?
Now, there can be a lot of problems with not following the rules relative to food.
Dr. Drake says some medicines are affected by food and that absorbing the medicine could be harder on a full stomach, just as some work better during meals. It depends on the medicine. Then there's storage recommendations you should pay attention to.
Storage can be an issue. The classic, keeping it in the medicine cabinet, right? That's what people always think about, and it's in the bathroom. Bathrooms get hot.
Temperature can impact the effectiveness of a medicine. That's the same if you're keeping meds in your car. Okay, so what if you take liquid medicines? Is figuring out the proper dosage confusing?
Liquid medicines poses a particular challenge. Dosing it correctly can be a problem.
Doctors suggest using an approved measuring cup with an ml or milliliter scale listed on it to ensure an accurate amount.
Getting that dosage just a little bit wrong can be a big consequence.
Then there are those who stop using meds before your prescription runs out, or quitting when you're feeling better. Dr. Drake suggests being proactive and cautious.
Definitely should have that conversation with your care provider. I'm a big fan of stopping medicines when I can. Stopping things too abruptly can be a problem.
So Dr. Drake says it's always good to be open and honest with your healthcare provider about your prescription habits. And tune in to Local 4 Plus tomorrow at 7 a.m. to hear what doctors advise when the cost of your medicine is a factor. Also, why it's important to keep an updated list of your medications with you at all times. You can also see these recommendations over at clickondetroit.com.
That's helpful. I know I was messing up my medicine. I do the thyroid thing. My thyroid doesn't work. I'm considered low energy. Not
Not that I would ever disagree with the doctor, but okay.
That's a whole other story. But you're not supposed to take calcium with it, which I was like, oh, I'm not taking calcium, but like I put so much creamer in my coffee.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that. And so they're like, this isn't working, but it took me like more than a year to realize why it wasn't working. And so it's like stuff like that you have to, and then you have to, just have to pay attention.
And some of these common mistakes are just part of our routine and habit, but they could be a little dangerous. And just click over to clickondetroit.com to find out why the doctors explain some of these common mistakes and how they could potentially impact you.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, Samad.